learning the menu. As servers, we are guides for our guests in their dining experience. While guests are at your dining venue, you are their expert guide. It is up to you to guide them through the delicious dishes on the menu, to recommend special beverages, wines, and cocktails. Also, it is vital that you understand how the dining experience will unfold in terms of timings and the order of events. This all starts with preparing your menu knowledge. Learning the dishes on your menu is a lot easier if you break the dishes up into groups and ingredients. The dishes on the menu can be broken down into 3 steps. Step 1. The course the dish forms part of. Step 2. The main ingredient. And Step 3. The accompaniments, such as starch, vegetables, and sauce. Let's start with the courses. This step involves breaking up our menu into courses. You'll remember from level 1 that there are multiple courses, the main courses being starters, entrees, or the fish courses, main courses, and desserts. Now, instead of having to remember 20 or more dishes in a row, you can simply remember how many each of these dishes you have. For instance, 5 starters, 3 entrees, 8 main courses, and 4 desserts. Next, let's take a look at Step 2, the main ingredient and its cooking method. The next step involves taking each of the dishes on your menu and highlighting the main ingredient of each dish. The main ingredient is often the first ingredient that is mentioned in the menu description. For instance, take the dish grilled beef fillet with roasted vine tomatoes, butternut mash, and a red wine jus. It is built around the main ingredient, beef fillet. Now, note whether the main ingredient is meat, such as beef, game, lamb, and pork, poultry, such as chicken, turkey, duck, and quail, fish, or a vegetarian dish containing no meat. Also, make a note of how the main ingredient was cooked. The cooking method has a big effect on the overall flavor of the dish. For instance, if a piece of fish is steamed, it will have a certain flavor and texture. But if it was deep fried, it will have a very different texture and flavor. This is why it is so important to make note of the cooking method of each main ingredient. So, with our dish, we know the main ingredient was beef fillet, and the cooking method was grilling. Let's finish off with Step 3, the accompaniments. Now we know which dishes fall into each of the courses, and we also know what the main ingredient is for each dish and how it is cooked. So, now we need to learn the rest of the dish. What you will find is, as a general rule, starters, entrees, and main courses contain the following: a main ingredient, which we already know, a starch, such as potato, rice, or pasta, a vegetable, and a sauce. So now, you can break up each dish into those 4 sections. That way, when we are trying to remember a certain dish on the menu, we can say, what is the main ingredient, and how is it cooked? What is the starch, and how is it cooked? What is the vegetable, and how is it cooked? What is the sauce, and how is it prepared? The whole dish. When you can answer these questions, you will be able to use all of this information to describe dishes in detail for your guests. For example, Mr. Jones, may I recommend the grilled beef fillet with roasted vine tomatoes, butternut mash, and a red wine jus. In this simple description, you have mentioned the main ingredient, beef fillet, and how it was cooked, grilled, the starch, butternut, and how it was prepared, mashed, the vegetable, vine tomatoes, and how it was prepared, roasted, the sauce, red wine, and how it was prepared, made into a jus. You will find that some dishes do not have all of these parts. For instance, some will not have a sauce, or some will have a starch but no vegetables. Every dish is made up in its own unique way, and it is up to your kitchen team to decide how to compile each dish. Simply ignore the part that is missing for that particular dish, and only remember the parts that are on the plate. Now that you have all the menu knowledge, you are able to tailor your recommendations and answer questions about the food. Tailoring the menu recommendation means making recommendations to your guest that you know best suit what they like and enjoy, so that your recommendations fit the guest perfectly. For instance, if you know a guest doesn't eat meat, you would suggest a vegetarian dish, not a steak. But to do this, you need to know the dishes. To recap this lesson, the dishes on the menu can be broken down into 3 steps: the course the dish forms part of, the main ingredient, and the accompaniments or side dishes such as starch, vegetables, and sauce. Good luck learning the menu at your establishment.